Comrades, the year 2019 is coming to an end. 2019 is an year of struggle and sacrifice by the 4 lakh defense civilian employees. The year started with a 3 days strike on January 23rd, 24th and 25th of this year. Our two main demands were: we have demanded to the government to withdraw its decision to announce, to declare 275 products being manufactured in the ordnance factories as non-core. None of the defense products are non-core. Each and every product required for our armed forces are strategic and core. But unfortunately, the present government, with the sole intention of helping the private sector, the corporate sector, has declared 275 products of the ordnance factories as non-core, thereby depriving the 25 ordnance factories out of the 41 ordnance factories. The second demand was: more than 50% of the central government employees and defense civilian employees are governed under the draconian new pension scheme, which is not giving any pension to the employees who are retiring from NPS. For a meager amount of 2,000, 3,000 rupees pension, the employees have to contribute 10% from their salary, and the government also make equal contribution. Now of course it is 14%. So our demand was to withdraw the new pension scheme and to restore the old pension scheme. These two demands were our major demands, and while discussing with the Secretary Defense Production during the January strike, we have demanded that, since MGO himself was told that he is very comfortable with the ordnance factories and the quality and the timely delivery of ordnance factories are superb, he would continue to procure those products which are declared as non-core from the ordnance factories, provided the cost is reduced. Being a government department, it is mandatory for the government to pay the salary and pay other benefits which the other central government employees are eligible to the defense civilian employees, especially the employees of ordnance factories. So we have demanded that the salary budget, for which around 6,500 crores rupees is required, should be given separately, and the same should not be linked with the cost of the product. And we have also demanded that none of the army units should be closed, and the employees declared surplus should not be thrown away from job and should not be retrenched and should not be redeployed elsewhere. They should be retained in the same establishment, and none of the establishments should be closed. For this demand, we have gone for 3 days strike. Thereafter, during the month of August, we went for a 5-day strike against the evil decision of the government to corporatize the 41 ordnance factories, with the intention, if it is corporatized, it is very easy for the government to privatize. Like today, the government is privatizing so many public sector undertakings, including the most strategic PSU, the Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited. All of us know the fate of BSNL. Knowing the fate of BSNL, where now 92,000 employees have offered to quit the department voluntarily because they have lost faith in the government of India. They are worried about their future, and that's why they have opted for VRS scheme. And what is going to be the future of a public sector like BSNL? And that is why we have taken a position that we cannot accept corporatization of ordnance factories. And in the past, many defense ministers, including George Fernandez, Mr. A.K. Antony, our previous president, Mr. Pranab Mukherjee, Mr. Manohar Parrikar, all these ministers have assured that the ordnance factories will not be corporatized. But today, the present government, the Narendra Modi-led NDA government, have taken a decision to corporatize the ordnance factories within 100 days. Against that decision, we went for the strike, and we have got a relief temporarily. But the danger still persists. Now on January 9th, we are going for a one-day strike, joining hands with the Indian working class against all the anti-labor and anti-people policies of the present government. 44 labor codes are being merged into 4 labor codes. For earning the minimum wage, the government has introduced a 9 hours working per day, which is against the ILO norms. ILO Convention number 1 specifically states the working hour should not exceed 8 hours for earning one's wages. Now the government of India has violated this, and they have now going to introduce fixed term employment in the Industrial Relation Code. Even government of India can recruit employees for 3 months, 4 months on a contract basis. No labor laws will be made applicable, and the worst part is going to be the hard-earned rights of the socially and economically downtrodden people. The reservation, 27% for OBC, 15% for SC, 7.5% for ST, 10% for economically weaker section in the forward community, physically handicapped, ex-serviceman, all these reservations are going to be jeopardized. The government is going ahead with all its policies of privatization. All public sector are being disbanded. The government wanted to sell out all these things. So there is no other option for the trade unions of this country other than to fight back. And that is why the central trade unions of the country and the federations have jointly taken a decision to observe an one-day national general strike all over the country. And the 4 lakh defense civilian employees, who are always with the mainstream of the Indian working class, have decided to join the strike, and preparations are going on all over the country. I appeal to the 4 lakh defense civilian employees, let us not remain isolated. Let us join hands with the Indian working class and fight back so that our hard-earned rights are protected and the defense industry is protected from the evil of corporatization and privatization. Thank you, comrades.